So, made up some light loads with, let's see, what was the ammo? 150 grain Sierra Game Kings with AR 2208 target from 37 grains to 39 grains. And so what I did was, because it's becoming clear that this rifle prefers lighter loads and lighter projectiles. So, firstly, I want to point out that, so I had 50 rounds, I shot off 50 rounds, no stuck cases in the chamber at all. So the previous shoot, I shot 30, no stuck cases. This time around, shot 50, no stuck cases. So it would appear that that fired case issue sticking in the chamber has gone away. Yeah, I can tell you right now, to fire 80 rounds without having one stuck case, it would appear that it's just gone away. So yeah, and I've had people comment, oh, you know, you should have sent it back to the manufacturer, why don't you send it back, blah blah blah. Listen, that's all well and good. You know what, if you live in a capital city and you have access to various firearm shops who carry, you know, who carry a serious amount of stock of the same firearm, and are able to get firearms in very quickly because they're in a capital city, that's well and good, but I'm not. I'm in a regional area, and it's, so the firearm that I originally purchased, this is not it. The firearm that I originally purchased, they screwed up at the gun shop, and it was actually a 30-06 when it should have been a 308. So I had to wait for them to get another firearm in from another shop to replace the one that they sort of mixed up calibers with. So it's not like they went, oh yeah, that's a 30-06, we'll just grab a 30-08. All right, it's not the situation in the region, in a regional area. Even though I live in Queensland and it's transportation of firearms is a lot easier than the other states, it's still an issue that, you know, we just don't have the stock. All right, firearms stores just don't have the stock like the biggest stores in the capital cities have. We just don't. All right, so it's a real, and in any case, if I had sent this back to the manufacturer when I was having that stuck case issue, it would have been, yeah, I probably would get another one that had stuck case issues, because I think, like John the gunsmith said, he said, look, this is oh shit, I've got chai tea here, I almost spilt it, I'm just going to have some. He said, and he was right, good on him, John, the gunsmith at Hall's Firearms, he was right. He said, look, because this has got a two stack tri, so it's actually got 6 lugs, multi-lug bolt, turn bolt. So the head of the bolt turns to lock in. He said they don't turn very much. You know, when you unlock them, they're not turning very much, and the primary extraction is really weak, and that's the main issue with these types of firearms. So the guy knows what he's talking about. And he said it may take a few hundred rounds. Originally he said a couple of hundred rounds. He said it may take a couple of hundred rounds for that to sort itself out, but it should sort itself out. And I was sort of like, yeah, alright. So I shot a couple of hundred rounds and it was still happening. But now that's gone away, so John was right. So it's not really individual firearms that are going to have that issue, it's the design. It's an inherent flaw in the design, but it does go away, and it has gone away with mine. Yeah, yippee. Where is it?
You lie! Give me an E! Give me an S! Yeah!
Woohoo! Yes. So, So that issue has gone away. The stuck case issue has gone away. The breaking screws on the Picatinny rail, that's gone away because he replaced all the screws. Clearly, I don't know where this Turkish company is getting their screws from, but they were just rubbish. I don't know what they were made out of, chalk or something. They were just snapping, all of them. Haven't had an issue there. Let's see. One thing I really do like about the firearm is the magazine. The magazine is really good. I haven't tried to get it well. I asked about a second one, I don't know, a while ago. They're not cheap, they're pretty expensive. But I always like to have a backup magazine because without a magazine this thing's useless. It's not like you can single load. Well, you can single load, but you got nothing there. Yeah. So I made up those loads. Now what I did was I shot them off at 50 metres first, and just to see what was going on. So this again, it's a 150 grain Sierra Pro Hunter Game King or whatever it is. I think it's called. Yeah, what's it say on the box? Just 150 grain soft point Spitzer. With 39 grains of AIT208 Varget, it was 1.5. So this is at 50 metres. With 38.5 it was 1.5. With 38, 1.3. 37.5 it was 1.1. At 37.95. So you can quite literally see a progression. You know, the groups diminishing in size as you go down in powder. Literally, you know, so quite clearly that indicates that I need to go around 37 grains. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make up some more with 37 grains. The thing is that I've also so I bought more of those 150 grainers Sierras, which are not cheap, almost $1 each. But I also got some Spear Hot Core 130 grainers, so I'm going to go even lighter and see what that does. Because finally I'm getting this rifle to shoot what I would call groups. Before it was just like shotgun pattern, like shooting SGs at 100 metres, or maybe not 100 metres, but shooting SGs at 50 metres, you know, it was shocking. So I went to 100 metres. I didn't have enough of the 39 grain to shoot at 100 metres, so which doesn't matter anyway because that was the worst. 38.5, 2.4 inches. 38, 3.6. No, this big flyer. I don't know what happened there. And look, the hole looks completely different. So I don't know what happened there. That might have been because it was a hand load, so it might have just screwed up. 37.5, 2.3 inches. And 37, 2.2 inches. There you go, at 100 metres. So this is a 14 power Burris full field E1, 4.5 to 14. Very nice scope. Obviously, it's a very fine reticle so you can really focus on accuracy. Now, one thing to note: if I had been shooting 3-shot groups, this would have been a 1-inch group because those two were 4 and 5. So that says something. So 37 grains with a 150 grain pill, 37 grains of AR2208 Varget. That's the way to go. And I said in the last video that if I could get 2 inches at 100 metres, I would be happy. I've got 2.2 inches.
Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So I've got the 130 grain hot cores. I'm gonna load up some of them. See if I can tighten those groups even more at 100 metres. At 50 metres, those groups are fine. at 100 meters, I want to. That's really what I want to see. I want to tighten it up. Yeah. Now, one of the other things that I did was that when I shot the CZ with the IBI barrel, I had some very good groups with SK flat nose target, like nice groups, really nice group there at 0.27. So I went ahead. I was at one of the gun shops and they had one box of flat nose target and a brick behind it, and I went, how much for the brick? And he went, oh, I'll give it to you for this. So he gave it to me $20 off what it would cost per box. So I got a $20 discount, and I went, yep, give us it. So $2 a box discount essentially. Because again, living in the regions, living out in the middle of nowhere, I'm not out in the middle of nowhere, but you know, the problem with Australia is that once you leave the capital cities, and in particular those eastern coast cities, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, you're really struggling to get stuff consistently, constantly, you know, regularly. So I didn't really want to buy a brick, but what choice do you have? You know, you buy 1 or 2 boxes and then next week you go back there and they're gone, the rest is gone, and you don't see it again for a month, 2 months or longer. You know, I mean, especially like with powders, man, you know, I have not seen any of the pistol caliber ADI powders, and the one in particular that I'm looking for is AR2205, which is really fine stuff in particular for the 17 Hornet, but I would also use it for the 310 Cadet, you know, the smaller cartridges, the smaller rounds, just stuff like Unique, you know, you just little gun, Hodgson little gun. I have not seen that in probably a year or longer. Maybe in the capital cities, in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, you might see it at a gun shop now and then. Here, where I am, like the closest city is Townsville. No, you just don't see it. You know, maybe my suspicion is that when it comes in, like the guys at the gun shops would probably snap it up, because there'd be such small quantities coming in, like they'd be snapping it up for themselves and their friends. They're not going to put it on the shelves when it's that scarce, because that's what I'd do if I worked at a gun shop. As soon as like if they got like 10 bottles of Unique come in at the gun shop, I'd go, how many can I grab? And I'd grab the lot if I could, you know, which is selfish, but what do you do? You know, what do you do? So we really have a hard time outside of capital cities dealing with just obtaining anything. You know, ADI pistol powders are essentially unobtainium. They're not making it. You know, it's there have even been times when they were out of AR2208, which is Varget, which is just like the most common powder that everybody uses, at least the most common powder that I use. Anyway, I'm prattling on, having a whinge. So finally got the Artech Prima to start shooting, because I was having like I was starting to lose faith in the concept that this rifle could actually shoot with reasonable accuracy. You know, I was just starting to think, man, this thing is a hose. No, it is very picky about the ammunition that it'll shoot. You know, if you're shooting at short ranges, 50 meters or less, you know, just pumping rounds in a pigs, yeah, who cares? Just use factory ammo and you know, you'll be all right. But you know, I like a little bit of accuracy out of my firearms, reasonable accuracy, and what it was doing was just disgraceful, really. But again, I really like the rifle. It I wouldn't have the scope on there. It's just a little bit too big for it. Although, and I don't like, for this type of rifle, I don't like having something with an adjustable parallax. I just want to set parallax and just shoot away. You know, you don't want any of that malarkey when you're out in the scrub. But again, it's, I don't know if I'll, because I was actually thinking of removing the spring, that return spring. I don't know, and make it a proper pump. Right now it's an assisted pump. Again, it's very smooth, and I haven't lubed it much at all. It's very smooth. The front forend does not rattle around like a outhouse door like the 7615 I did. That was shocking. I really do like it. I really do like it. So there you go. You know what? Finally, I'm getting somewhere with this thing. And so all the people who've been writing comments, send it back, all this. No, just a little bit of persistence, and figuring out what it likes. And so I'm going to make up some hand loads with the 130 grain hot cores and a few of the 150 grain. Well, actually, I'm not going to make any more of 150 grain. I've got them there to put together, but I've already seen what it does with 150 grains. I'm going to make some 130 grains and go out. So today's Saturday, then I'll go out in 2 days, Monday, back to the range and test it out again.
Yes!
Yep. So until then, see you later.